What's up, everyone? Eli here, back for a collection update video. Kind of a cool one this time, at least if you ask me. A lot of different types of stuff here, almost kind of across the board. So yeah, that said, let's just get started. I'm gonna start off. I should save this for last, but this is easily my most favorite thing of this entire video, and I just want to get it over with. This is something I've wanted for a long time, but I just would always forget to go after. It's not particularly rare. I don't know how many copies were made. Clearly enough, because I mean it's not hard to come by. It's not expensive. But anyways, what we have here is the 1994, fuck, or is it 95? 94, 95 demo of Australian black metal band Nazul. One of my favorite black metal bands. I've heard the demo over the years, of course, but I've never owned it until now. Yeah, so I mean, this is pretty cool for a debut demo from the 90s. I mean, this thing was printed and everything. Vampire Records, which I'm not really familiar with. There's the side. Yes, so Vampire Records out of Australia. It's double-sided. Yeah, man. Single-sided J card. I shouldn't probably take it out and beat it up too much, but it's in pretty good shape. Dalibor on vocals and bass, Lachlan guitar, Adrian on guitar, Steve on drums. My boy, Steve Hughes. Love that guy. Love him to death. Yeah, man. I guess, I would consider that a grail. I know most of you would consider a grail something that you've been after for and, unable to find because it's so fucking valuable. This is not valuable, and it's not, I didn't even have to look hard for it. I went on Discogs, Disc Search. I found 3 of them instantly. I think I paid less than $10 for it, but for me, it's a grail, so extremely happy to have that. Next, I made a small order from Hell's Headbangers. Just because they had one thing that I wanted, but I grabbed 2 others, and none of this was expensive. I think it was just a $10 order. It was this. I'd wanted this for a long time. I'd listened to this back 10 or 15 years ago and loved the fuck out of it. So I just did a search for it. Hell's Headbangers had it. Came out on blackmetal.com. You probably remember them, Arizona black metal label from like the early 2000s. They released so much stuff. A lot of garbage, but a lot of good stuff, let's be honest. So what we have here is the Thule anthology. Now, Thule were a black metal band from Iceland way before this whole thing, started happening. Not to disrespect any of these current, bands out of Iceland. I don't really listen to most of them, but maybe these guys were doing it back in 95. This is 95 through 97. So what you have is, you got a 97 demo. Shit. Well, you got a 95, a 96, and a 97, and then some 2007 stuff. So I guess they came back for a while. I don't know. I don't remember that happening, but apparently it did. So Thule would actually go on to become. They would change their name. They would become a band called Potentium, who had one album out, and it was fucking great. Go look up Potentium. Balzin. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they had one album. And it's really fucking good. A little different sounding than the Thule stuff, I will say. But the Thule stuff is great too. Just great, early 90s style black metal. Maybe not so much. It was maybe not so much unique like some of the stuff that the young dudes are doing now out of Iceland. But still, it was just really good black metal, and that's enough for me, to be honest. So I also picked up from Hell's. I also picked up this just because I found it randomly. I always thought this was kind of a cool project, and I always wanted something from them. It was never really like a priority, but Japan's Endless Dismal Moan with Ruin. Have not heard this album. I've heard some Endless Dismal Moan stuff. Yeah, just not this one. It's not sure when it came out, but God, man, that glare is really, really bad. I'm doing this video, obviously, outside. This might be a bad idea, but I'll do what I can. Hopefully it's watchable. I don't really reshoot anything. I mean, once every great while. So yeah, weird, creepy, ambient black metal out of Japan. Good stuff though. I've always liked it. And while I was at it, I also picked up an album from an underrated band called Zerion out of Spain. This album is called Ulfzers. That's how I'm going to pronounce it, anyways. Nice. It's a digipack, but it's a decent one. Azur Madoff Records, which I'm not familiar with, but maybe I'll look into their stuff. Very cool art, man. I love this penciled artwork. Fucking cool as shit. Look at that. That's awesome. Front's awesome too. Man, Zerion are great. Great black metal out of like I said, Spain. Apparently this came with a booklet and it got lost at some point because it is not there. But what are you gonna do, man? Now, I first discovered Zerion through a split they did earlier on in their career with country mates Foscor. Foscor are awesome as well. Yeah, man, this is just great, kind of second wavy, kind of Scandinavian type black metal. But it's great. This band is, super underrated. I never see anyone talk about them. Not trying to say not trying to make myself sound obscure or anything, but I highly recommend basically anything out of their discography. And they're a hardworking band. They have a decent sized discography. So far, I haven't heard anything out of it that wasn't really, really good. So, this local store picked up a couple things just super cheap. I have been kind of in a mood to listen to Deep Purple. I like Deep Purple, but I'm pretty much a novice with that band. I kind of grew up with my dad always had the Perfect Strangers tape. Always thought it was really, really, really cool. Later on I would get like Machine Head and Fireball, but I don't have much of their discography, and I've heard even less. So, I mean, they have a huge discography, so I figured, why not go through it? I decided that every time I see a Deep Purple album that I don't have, I'm just going to pick it up. So, knowing that these two were probably, some of their more unpopular albums, I don't care. I'm going to grab them anyway. I'm going to get their whole discography, and I'm going to listen to it and make my own conclusions. So we got The House of Blue Light with a broken case. This is from 1987. I've never heard anyone talk about it ever. So I don't know the lineup or the era. I could pull this open, but I don't really want to. I don't want to put too much time into it. But anyway, 1987 Deep Purple, House of Blue Light. Never had even heard of this album, but now I own it. Good story. Then we have 1996's Perpendicular. What a stupid album title. From what I can gather, browse through some reviews real quick after I bought it. Seems like fans actually like this one. I don't have anything to say about it yet, but 90s Deep Purple and the fans like it, so that's cool. Kind of still in my conquest to get more stuff from this band, the Reverend Horton Heat. Got Liquor in the Front. Haha. Funny. This came out on Sub Pop and Interscope Records, 94, so this is one of the earlier albums. I don't know where this falls in his discography. If this is, it's got to be one of the first 3 or 4 albums. It's got to be. Produced by Al Jorgensen. So that's interesting. Al Jorgensen of Ministry. I didn't know he was a producer. I just know he was in Ministry. Maybe a couple other things, but yeah. Always liked this band. At least, I mean, I've been aware of them for a long, long time. I really only started getting into them like, I don't know, the last couple years. But really, really good. Rockabilly, or some even would say psychobilly stuff. But yeah, I dig it, man. It's great. Picked this one up on a whim because it looked really fucking interesting, and I still haven't listened to it. When did this come out? This came out in the 70s. It's like 70s, I guess, maybe psych rock, I guess you could call it, just from the review that I read. But we have Spirit, 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus. I mean, How would you not buy that? Lately, I've been getting more into like psych and prog stuff, and um, I just thought, well, that looked fucking interesting. Read a couple old reviews, and people love it. People that listen to this shit, far more than I do. So yeah, thought that'd be cool to listen to. Hopefully soon. And then I'm not huge, as you guys know. I'm not super huge into like electronic music, ambient or any of those genres. But I couldn't really resist this. I got John Carpenter's Lost Themes, Volume 1 and 2. Yeah, man. The man himself, Volume 1, Volume 2. So I had read about these actually when they came out a couple years back. They are not necessarily, these were not like, not knowing anything about it, you would probably think this was like stuff, that he did, maybe for some soundtracks but didn't get used. But it's not that. It's actually just, I can't remember. I read a couple reviews. This was, back in 2014 when it came out. I want to say this is just stuff that he made for fun. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. I remember it's, despite the way it sounds, Lost Themes, it is definitely not, it's not like leftover soundtrack stuff. It is not that. So, but people, way more into this music than I seem to love it. So I like John Carpenter a lot, and I do like his soundtrack work. I just, I don't listen to a lot of that kind of stuff, but I'm going to listen to these, and I think it's going to be a fun time. Now, these last few things are going to be comic books, so, I'm well aware that probably 95% of you aren't into that. You didn't come here for that, so you can stop watching now, and I won't know, and I wouldn't be offended if I did. So picked up a couple comic books at my this local shop. It's not a comics shop. It's just like a media store where they sell vinyl, CDs, DVDs, comic books, T-shirts. It's a pretty cool store. It could be a lot better. I don't think it'd blow most of your minds, but it's pretty cool. So I saw this. I'm like, that looks fucking awesome. That if you know me outside of music, which I know a lot of you don't, that would be something that would intrigue me. So I grabbed it and I read the back. I mean, the artwork is very cool. It's all color. It's all done in this black and white kind of noir style. Look at that. It's fucking awesome. I read the back, and I had to grab it. It was a couple bucks. So it's Kinski, the story of a boy and his dog. Only the boy is a traveling salesman, and the dog doesn't belong to him. Joe's self-styled mission to save a puppy from its neglectful owners escalates into a righteous crusade in this quirky crime thriller written and drawn by Gabriel Hardman, who has worked on The Hulk, Edentown, Planet of the Apes. So that just sounded like something I would do in real life anyways. So yeah, I'm going to read that today, hopefully. Very intrigued. This isn't in the best shape, but it's not terrible either. Had to grab this. This is an old Frank Miller Daredevil, 1982, the year I was born. Frank Miller did a great run on Daredevil. It was dark. It was fucking, thought-provoking. Daredevil back in those days was a great character, and I do have some Frank Miller stuff. I might have this. I can't remember. I have so many comic books. And I've kind of been out of the game for a while, so it's really hard for me now to buy back issues this old and be 100% sure if I have them or not. So I might have it. I think I don't. But anyways, I was real stoked to see that. I saw that, man. It just brought me back to, my childhood, the better parts of my childhood anyways. And I was like, fuck yeah. Frank Miller Daredevil. Get it all if you can, if you care. These grabbed a couple old Batman issues just because they're old Batman issues from '86. Reminding you that, Batman could be pretty dark back in those days. But I've been a fan since I was like 3. This one right here was kind of a shocker. I have this. I bought it when it came out. This is one of my favorite series to come out in the last 15 years, probably. I'm not, as an adult, I'm not real into the superhero genre. I go more for the other stuff. But this came out and it gave the superhero genre a fucking kick in its ass, a well needed one. So we have Kick Ass, Mark Millar, John Romita Jr. Great team. So this is issue 1. Like I said, I already have it. This I bought it for $1. This actually goes for, I've seen it go for up to $150 on Amazon. So probably gonna sell that because I already have it. I couldn't leave it there for $1. I mean, no doubt I'll probably be able to at least get $50 for this. So I vaguely remember this series. I might even have this one, or I might have something from this series. It's a four issue series, it looks like, or 6. But I don't remember anything about it. Dark Days. I just know that Ben Templesmith did the art, or at least the cover. And I love Ben. Can you even see that? I don't know. I'm sorry. I love Ben Templesmith's art. Hell of a nice guy too. I met him at the Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle some years back, and he was a total gentleman. I just really loved meeting him. And I'm done. Got one more. This one was just a total blind grab. It's an old Epic Comics, one of those, trade paperbacks, I guess you could call it. I didn't really consider something like this that back in the day. I just always would call this just like a thick comic. Not quite a trade paperback, but anyways, it might be considered that. But we got Critical Mass. It's book 1 of 7, so at least I got the first one. I only bought it because Mike Mignola did the cover art. I'm a big Mike Mignola fan. You'll know him from being the dude that created Hellboy. This looks old. This looks like this is pre-Hellboy stuff, I think. I imagine, but I'm not sure. I don't know exactly when it came out. I haven't taken it out yet, but yeah, looked interesting. It was $1. It's pretty thick. I'll get a good amount of reading out of it, and Mike Mignola cover art, so right up my alley. So anyways, that's it, guys. Hopefully I'm not alienating too many people with the comic stuff. I don't think I really intended on doing any comic stuff when I first started this channel, but I have a massive comic collection, and I might get into that someday. I don't know yet, but yeah, talk to me. How many of you guys like Nozzle? I almost never hear anyone talk about them. I think they're fucking incredible. I talk about them a lot. I did a Nozzle video a couple years back. It didn't turn out really very good, I don't think, but I might redo it now that I have a lot more of their stuff. I'm only really missing... I do want to complete their discography. They have a couple splits and stuff that in my opinion, aren't super crucial to have. I wouldn't mind getting them. If anyone has them and they don't really want them, let me know. But one thing I do want is, it was actually the last recording they did. When was it? I think it's been a while. I want to say it's been 7 or 8 years ago. This band moves very slow sometimes. It was an EP, pretty limited EP that they only sold on a tour that they did, and it has one new song, which is a pretty good song, and then they do the Gate of Nana cover by Harriet, and it's great. I've been trying to track that down on Discogs. That's pretty pricey. I don't think I've seen it less than $50 yet, but if anyone has that and they don't want it, maybe let me know too. I doubt that's going to happen, but yeah. And how many of you guys are comic fans? I'm kind of looking at my kind of core small group of commenters, but anyone that watches this. I mean, would you like to see more comics? If nobody cares, I might not do it because I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to shove anything out there, that's going to get people to stop watching my channel. That's not really my goal. But if you guys don't mind, would it bother you if I threw more comics in? What do you think? I don't know. Let me know. You guys are all so nice. I'm sure you're just going to say do what you want, but I love you guys, definitely. So, yeah, talk to me. Talk to me about Zerion, Nozzle, Deep Purple. How about Thule? Like, how many of you guys have heard Thule? Really good stuff, man. But anyways, that's all. I'm gonna go. Me and Louie are kind of out in the woods right now. We're about to go on a nice journey, epic journey. So yeah, talk to me, and I don't know, we'll talk soon. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers.